honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Daily Blast Live. Hello, everyone.
What's
hey,
up?
hey.
Hey.
Let's do the wave. Okay.
It can't skip the middle.
We gotta talk about that.
We got to prepare that. All right, I agree. All right. It's Tuesday, September 17th. I'm here with Al, Brandon, Lindsay. I'm Tori. Let's get right to it. All right, lots of hard news out there today, guys, which is why we're beginning with this. Sean Spicer made his Dancing with the Stars debut, and you've got to see it. Take a look. After his performance, Spicer was reduced to tears of joy. TMZ got the video showing Spicy wiping away the tears. But on social media, Spicer got the meme treatment, with one person commenting, he's still hiding behind the White House bush in that neon green shirt. Christy Brinkley's daughter, Sailor, stepped in for her mom last night. Remember, after Christy broke her arm during rehearsals, and she got a lot of praise from the judges. And a friend of the show, Karamo Brown, did okay dancing the salsa. Now, actor James Vanderbeek came out on top, slaying the tango. Whoa, look at that. Okay, I see you. And in last place, Lamar Odom's Foxtrot. Just watch it.
Wait, yeah. I'm not gonna let you.
No, come on.
Almost calm all these smirks and little giggles down. I'm not gonna let you athlete bash right now, because my honorary Kardashian, Lamar Odom, he's not built to do the foxtrot. This guy is built to dance in bunny ranches. So I think you guys need to just back up a little bit.
Why is he on Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah, because he's an honorary Kardashian.
Where did his rhythm go, though? That man has no rhythm.
He's six
You can
like
see him
us.
counting with this. It's like she's dancing with one of those things in front of a used car lot. Just one of those things, just those huge arms. But it's tough when you're tall like that.
Thank you.
Brandon,
Thank you.
it's a.
Thank you.
There was something. First of all, I'm just gonna say this. I don't buy that Sailor just had 3 days to
people
perform.
are not believing
She
this.
looked like a front runner. I mean, those are difficult dances, clearly, because even athletes struggle. So I don't know. Do you guys think that like she had
People
some
think-
kind of heads up?
Right, and now some people
that didn't
think-
look like 3 days worth of dancing.
Well, Sailor's very agile. She's young, but some people are saying it's all a hoax to get Sailor on Dancing with the Stars. Christy didn't even break her arm, is what people are saying. Do
Did you
guys
see
believe
that fall?
Yeah.
That fall looked a little ridiculous. And nobody knew Sailor. I sure didn't. I know
you do.
she's a Sports Illustrated model, but we didn't really know who she was. And so this will be her next level to fame, right? She was no like Kendall Jenner with the modeling career. So
Gotta keep it in
And
the
I feel
family.
like she's not your demo. I think there's a lot of 40-year-old dads that know who she is. Sports Illustrated's here again. Then. Yeah.
Speaking of creepy old men, Harvey Weinstein has one person on his side, his new female defense attorney. Now, she sat down with CBS's Gayle King, who says her client is not a rapist. You got to see this.
I'm not here to say that he was not guilty of committing sins. I'm not here to say that at all, but there's a difference between sins and crimes. And I don't think he's a rapist. I do not believe he's a rapist.
Well, you would hope your defense litigation team doesn't believe you're a rapist. Well, later in the interview, Weinstein's lawyer seems to imply that Weinstein, yeah, you heard me, Weinstein is a victim in all this. Check out this.
I think that no matter what happens to Harvey Weinstein, he will pay the biggest price there is. Even if he wins, Gayle, his whole life has been ruined, toppled, damaged, and whether it's by his own doing or others, that's the fact. And the fact is that no matter what we do, and we can walk out of that courtroom with a not guilty and walk him out onto those courtroom steps, and he never gets to be Harvey Weinstein ever again.
Okay, we all can say that this is crazy. People who are raped never get to have their sense of innocence back. Let's just be honest. Is this the best tactic? Because it is a tactic of saying he's already been guilty in the public opinion. He'll never get his money back. What tactic would you take, or is this the one you take?
This is you're trying to gain sympathy, and there are people that do naturally kind of side with a male accuser that hasn't been convicted in the court of law. So I think she's trying to say, hey, look, give us a shot, and no matter what, you should feel sorry for him, because even if we win, we still lose. It's a tactic.
Right.
People use it. Guys use it when we're in trouble with our girlfriends.
Yeah.
We
But
say
is it going to backfire, Al, because it's Weinstein? You know what I mean?
Right. I think there's 70 accusers. So where there's smoke, there's fire. A lot of
That's a forest
smokes.
fire.
Yes, there's a whole forest fire.
Yeah.
And so you have to look at this and say, if they go to court, it's a criminal case with 2 women in it. So she's being serious. Like, I'm not looking at all 70 women against Weinstein. That's not what the case is. There's 2 women,
true.
and if all 70 of them come to court, yeah, it's going to be another Bill Cosby situation probably. But if they don't, and right now they have 5 people total, including the 2 criminal women in the cases, then he might get off. I mean, money and power has shown you one thing: in court, it can win.
And we talked about this earlier, Lindsay. This woman, and you have to watch this entire interview, people label her as a pit bull in court. She is a lady pit bull in court, and that's why he hired her. Now, I'm not defending Harvey Weinstein. I think, and I'm part of that court of public opinion, I think he's guilty for what he's allegedly being accused of doing. But when you have someone like this, it reminds me of Johnny Cochran. This woman is going to put together some sort of defense where there's going to be a glove don't fit or some sort
kind of rhyme or
yes,
limerick.
exactly.
Maybe.
And I think, like she said, she's focused not on the court, the public opinion, the actual criminal court.
Good
that she
defense
has to
litigator.
fight
That's
in.
what you want.
And she's looking for a very specific jury.
Yes.
So if she gets that, who knows? Yeah.
Well, let's play the violence.
This is dangerous.
And I think she's going to try and say, hey, this guy's a jerk, but he's not a criminal.
Which is total,
She said
like,
he's a sinner, not a rapist.
Right, which is the ABCs of defense litigation. Absolutely. All right, Shane Gillis, guys, one of the new cast members on SNL, has been fired before the new season even started. But he's got one person on his side. This is SNL alum Rob Schneider. Schneider tweeted this, quote, "I am sorry that you had the misfortune of being a cast member during this era of cultural unforgiveness, where comedic misfires are subject to the intolerable inquisition of those who never risked bombing on stage themselves." Now, Gillis was criticized after a video of him using racist language against the Chinese community came out. So have we become a cancel culture, and what are we gaining or losing by canceling people so quickly? And also, I don't tend to think, as Rob Schneider did, this was a comedic misfire. I think this dude was homophobic and racist. And I think that's not cool. And no, it's not cultural canceling. It's literally, I don't accept that anymore because I don't think people should.
See, I take this very personally. As somebody that's bombed on stage before, like this, like what he's conflating are 2 totally different things. No one's getting in trouble for bombing on stage. Sometimes you just try a joke and it doesn't work. If you listen to the comments in context, like I did, you know, he was trying to be entertaining. He was talking into a podcast, trying to gain an audience, but I didn't see like a joke set up where he was trying to he was trying to go for it and just missed.
There was no structure there.
It was just somebody talking about something that for whatever reason bothered them.
With you two being comics or comedians, I can't believe that you guys are kind of siding on this guy's side, even though I know you're not going to back him. But Tori, your jokes bomb all the time. So in 10 years, you're up for some sort of job. Are you mean to tell me if they come back to that and they've already given you the job and then they take that back because of public outcry, you're not going to be upset?
I would, first of all, have problems with me bombing all the time. We'll talk about
I'm
that.
joking.
She's got a 20% hit rate.
10%. But 2, I would say really quickly, I don't think it's public outcry. I think it's pure homophobia and racism, and it shouldn't be accepted.
And it wasn't 10 years ago. This happened last year.
11 months
and what are you
ago.
saying SNL vetted them? Let's talk about this. If you just did a quick Google search, Vice showed that in May 2019, there's audio of him using racial slurs. New York Magazine said that he did the same thing in 2018.
So be mad at SNL.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you guys hired him now because you didn't do your proper vetting process. Now he's getting fired. So I understand someone coming out feeling bad for him because honestly, it was a quick Google search.
They're covering his butt. They're covering their butts.
Vet him up. All right, we have to bring this in. It's a world lost one of the most legendary journalists today, someone I really looked up to. Cokie Roberts has died at the age of 75. Roberts won so many awards, including 3 Emmys, and was inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. She was named a living legend by the Library of Congress in 2008. She is survived by her husband, her 2 children, and 6 grandchildren, which she called by far the best part of her life. I've known Cokie Roberts in D.C. I've seen her at bookstores and said to her how much I look up to her.
Wow.
She is a queen at ABC, and she did something before I was at this table. Lindsay, you were at the table. Females weren't really at the table.
Right.
And she sat next to Sam Donaldson, and she held her own.
Right.
And we wish her all the best. She died of breast cancer, and she always wanted early detection. So remember to check your breasts, please. That would be a good legacy for her as well.
That's awesome. I know. I just see that you're getting emotional.
Yeah.
What's the one memory that you'll take most from her?
Telling her that she was a hero of mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a big moment. Thanks,
That's
Al.
good, girl.
Thanks. All right, DBL is coming up, and I go one-on-one with actress Allison Brie from Glow. From wrestling stunts to 80s fashion, we're getting the behind-the-scenes magazine scoops. But you guys, you need to come to work today. You're the viewer. You're our fifth host. We don't pay you, but you still are there. High school cheerleaders are in trouble for a pro-Trump stunt at a football game. So we got to ask, should students be allowed to show support for political candidates? Oh, you guys, your comments are coming in hot. Coming up next.
Tuesday. I actually, Tori, just like from being a young man, I remember watching TV and knowing Cokie Roberts, I thought she had such an interesting name.
I know.
And then that actually made me pay attention to who
she had a great name. Her name's Corinne, and her little brother couldn't pronounce Corinne, so they called her Cokie.
Yeah.
And it just stuck.
I like it.
Yeah.
And she was always so humble. She always said that it was a privilege to do her job.
Absolutely.
To be able to tell stories.
Absolutely. And she also said that family always came before career, which in a time where you think a woman would be like, oh, career, she's like, look, I've had great grandchildren. I'm fine. I'm really okay.
I love that.
I know. So she's a really great woman. Also, XOOX says, hey, Brandon, Tori's jokes always hit in the comments.
Yeah. Oh, because DBL Nation worships Tori.
No, they don't.
Yes,
Because I love
one
them.
person
I
who
respect
gives
them.
you some sort of stank. And
What?
That's Tony.
Yeah.
I got that quote.
But everyone else
Amazing,
loves Tori
Anthony.
so much.
You know
that they
why?
laugh at
Because
every
I
joke.
pay attention to these guys.
What do you?
Guys? Yeah, she was the best with Sam.
Tori,
And Danny says, I love your jokes, Tori.
Yes, I don't think your jokes bomb all the time. He really emphasized all.
No,
He did.
Yeah.
And he said it without a
I
smile.
was in all caps.
Your
but
jokes bomb all the time, and I'm just going to move on as if that's a fact.
I was shocked by like what Lindsay said though. Like in terms of just vetting, it just seems like
Like I did a
Google.
quick Google search and really it was Vice.
See, that's embarrassing.
And
Unfair.
it was like, and then it was New York Times and it was Vulture magazine. All had different articles of. He even got kicked out of a Philly comedy club because of something that he said. That,
Really?
yeah, they don't work with him
Philly
anymore.
comedy club.
Yeah, it was just like, I went to school in Philly, so yeah, a lot of room to breathe.
covering
there.
their butts. This is what
what
SNL is
But you
doing.
cover your butt by vetting.
Right.
You don't hire the person and then. That's what. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's kind of it is weird. So that's why I understand another comic saying.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. This is a big one, guys. School spirit and American pride has resulted in athletic probation for high school cheerleaders in North Carolina. So get this story. The North Stanley High Cheer Squad posed with a banner that says Trump 2020, Make America Great Again. But the school's district policy is that no students can display political signs on campus or at school events. Now, some parents plan to protest by wearing MAGA hats to the next game. So, DBL Nation, this is a real constitutional issue. Should students be allowed to show support for political candidates?
All right, so Maurice from Facebook says, I hate Trump, but I disagree with this. America is supposed to be all about standing up for what you believe in with the freedom to do so without being punished for it. And I would say that I agree. I think that in school we learn about student council. It's our first time experiencing politics, especially expressing ourselves in high school. And so I think that this is kind of wrong for them to say, you can't express yourself.
All right, Susan from Facebook says, I remember when I was in school, we were able to wear the buttons with the candidate on them. Everyone was able to have the freedom to express who they liked back then. I look at it like this. If you're okay with what these kids did, then you should be okay with the two kids in Texas that kneeled during the anthem during the football game because they ended up getting kicked off the team and they didn't play in the game for the rest of that year. So if these parents,
it should be equal.
If these parents are going to wear MAGA hats, then if there's parents who want to take a knee during the anthem, I don't want to hear anything from either side.
Fair point.
All right. Frank from Facebook says, they broke the rules. Why is this an issue? They were in the wrong. Well, that's what makes it kind of interesting. Is it seems like this is a district-wide policy. So I think instead of getting bogged down in Trump and not Trump, that's going to take us on a whole different. What we need to talk about is like, is it okay to have a policy where people that are under the age of 18 are restricted from expressing how they feel about anything, whether they're a fan of the New York Yankees or a fan of the president? So because this is a district-wide policy, I want to ask you. By the way, your hair is making me comfortable today.
Is it good?
It's really good. It's big and it's like making me relax.
Michelle. We love you, Michelle.
But I mean, you're a legal eagle. Can you make a policy? Could you make a policy saying no athletic wear?
So schools can really do what they want, but this is what's really interesting. My favorite court case of all time, 1975, Tinker v. Des Moines. Kids came into school, Vietnam War, they wore black armbands protesting. They got kicked out. They said that's not fair. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, my famous line ever is, your constitutional right does not stop at the school gates, which means students should be allowed to. Now, it also says this, and I want you to read this very carefully. In order to justify the suppression of speech, the school officials must be able to prove that the conduct in question would, quote, materially and substantially interfere. And I think that a Trump sign in this day and age, even though I don't want it to, can interfere with school policy, which really frustrates me because I'm not for Trump, but I want these students to be able to show their love for Trump. But I think you got the opinion right there.
But where's all those people when they say keep politics out of football, keep it out of sports, keep it out of sports on both sides? Then, if we're going to talk like that,
yeah, I want to hear what people say about the kneeling. I think it's really interesting. We have some hard news about Jeopardy host Alex Trebek and an update on his health. Raquel, tell us what's going on.
Well, Tori, right now Alex Trebek revealed he needs more chemotherapy as he continues to fight stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He also spoke candidly to Good Morning America about what he's facing.
The thought of passing on doesn't frighten me. It doesn't. Other things do. The effect it will have on my loved ones, yes, that bothers me and makes me sad. But the thought of myself moving on, hey folks, comes with the territory.
Despite it all, he says he has no plans on stopping hosting Jeopardy.
Man, I have nothing to say, but that's the saddest thing I've ever seen, but so true.
Yeah.
You know, spoken like a Buddhist.
You know, life isn't a movie where it's just like, oh, everything's all good now. I mean, pancreatic cancer is no joke.
Real.
So, I mean, the fact that he's here and he's able to obviously not only communicate, but just still be the Alex that we all know and love. And it seems like it's been very cathartic for him to kind of just get out. So I'm happy. We wish the best, but chemo is no joke.
No joke. Wow. All right. Well, coming up on DBL, if you're not watching Glow on Netflix, star Alison Brie, she could change your mind. I go one-on-one with her coming up next.
It's only a matter of time until you're
Hey, what's up, Danny? Thanks for writing in your comment. Danny, tell me if you're a girl or boy. She goes, or he goes against what Brandon says my jokes are hilarious.
You made
Take Danny?
You're not allowed to say your jokes.
Oh, I can, because I'm the only one who finds them funny.
I like your jokes.
You do?
I find that you're very funny.
Do you find them? Can I ask you a question? Yeah, she's really good.
I need to let time pass and then I can really say.
Funny, or do you think I'm funny because I'm not funny? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think you're hilarious.
I think
But is it because I'm not funny?
The funniest part is when you're just being yourself.
All right, that's nice.
Right, when you're just like
I would
chilling
like to
and
go
saying,
on record
like,
saying I think Tori is very funny. I tell her this all the time. My grandparents tell me to tell her that all the time. But since we have such a great dynamic up here, I had to throw that little jab in there.
It's not a full day.
People love Tori.
If Brandon's not.
Yeah, wouldn't it be weird if Brandon was nice to you? Wouldn't you think something was up?
It's a weird day.
Kids should not be allowed to voice their political opinions. Should be allowed respectfully, but maybe not when they're doing a school activity. Okay, my big thing with this is I want them to be able to say pro-Trump because that's what they should, but right now I think it's too polarized. And in the Tinker v. Des Moines opinion, it says if it's going to interfere, it's allowed. So I have to listen to Abe Fortas on this one. He's the justice. Abe Fortas, Justice Abe Fortas. He wrote the opinion. Okay. Welcome back to DBL. We'll break out the leg warmers and leotards. Huh? Okay. We're traveling back to the 1980s and entering the world of women's wrestling in the hit Netflix show Glow. Earlier, I sat down with the super talented Allison Brie, who plays Ruth. We talked about the wild stunts and the totally far out fashion. Check it out in today's Chatting with the Stars. Allison Brie, my spirit animal, welcome to Daily Blast Live. I am so excited to talk to you about Glow.
Live from the Fantan Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Because it's all about girl power, and I want people to know you do your own stunts mostly. So I want you to talk about that, and did any go seriously wrong?
Ooh, we've had a rolled ankle and we've had a concussion. I have not been injured, knock on wood. But yes, we do our own stunts on the show, and this is something from the very beginning when we were auditioning. It's been like a real steep learning curve, and everybody's been so game for all of it.
Okay, let's just call it out. It's 80s times 10. Do you have a favorite outfit or a favorite piece of clothing that makes you feel like Ruth?
I think Ruth's jeans. Ruth has one pair of jeans in 3 seasons of the show. They're like a high-waisted jean.
Love them.
Mark Maron hates them.
I love Mark Maron.
Maybe that's why I love them so much.
Now, I read that the people behind Glow were not convinced that you were the right person to play Ruth. So what's up with that?
It's true.
That's crazy.
Ruth was written as a very unconventional woman.
Okay.
And I think that they had some preconceived notions about who I was. And I certainly fought for the role. I had to audition many times. I really showed them my soul. I bared it all. And I'm glad I did.
I'm glad you actually, you had to fight for the right to glow. I'm very proud of you, Allison. Very good job. I want to ask about your little hubby, Dave Franco. You two worked together on an upcoming movie, and recently you mentioned it was hard not to call him honey on set. So what's it like working with him? Is it fun?
It is awesome.
Oh,
it is
that's good
awesome,
to
and it is
hear.
so fun. It's just like getting to be on set with my best friend, with my person every day. I definitely did not avoid calling him honey and babe. He gave me permission.
That's good. I appreciate that. I'm a stand-up comic and a comedy actress, or tried to be, and then I became a host. I just wanted to let people know, we always talk about it's not an overnight success for anything. We all work for that. How did you get to where you are?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's taken years and years and constant work, and it never ends.
Right,
I think is the message I want to tell people.
Right.
But you know, I've worked as a clown for kids' birthday parties. It's all about perseverance. It's a perseverance game, and you have to just keep going.
Keep going, keep glowing. I appreciate your time. Season 3 of Glow is on Netflix now. Thank you so much, Allison. Way to be a smart, funny woman in today's world.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
She's so cool. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Good Hair.
Hey guys, welcome to our review of Ad Astra. I'm Stephanie and I'm joined by
Raquel.
Okay, so Raquel, we went to go and see Ad Astra the other day. What do you think?
I think we're gonna have very differing opinions on this. For being a space movie starring Brad Pitt, it has everything I would ever want in a movie.
Okay.
I liked it for the fact that it shows what space and colonization might be like of planets when other humans get involved in other countries. I loved that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But towards the end, I thought it got a little cheesy.
Okay, so I loved the kind of digital green screen special effects aspect. So I love seeing what it would be like in space. And I feel like it really transported me into that world. And I thought it was so beautiful. But for me, the actual storyline just went on a bit. There wasn't enough kick to the punch. Do you know what I mean?
I felt like it kind of got like a little bit repetitive because I'm like, okay, anytime Brad Pitt hangs out with someone, we know what's gonna happen to them.
Yeah.
But like you said, it was beautiful to look at though.
Yeah.
Everything.
The visual aspect.
Yeah, and I kind of think it's like a little bit of a sci-fi masterpiece, but the storytelling gets a little murky towards the end. They could have gone so many different directions.
Yeah.
And then they just decided to go with like the same story in space all over again, like that emotional aspect.
I'm not gonna lie, Sandra Bullock in Gravity was way better and stronger than this.
I-
Brad Pitt and Ad Astra for me.
Yeah, they are similar, especially the endings, and I will say Gravity was stronger, but this one was more beautiful to look at.
Okay, so cinema, red box, or don't bother.
If you like the idea of having all the visual effects and the sounds and all the things for that aspect, go see it in the cinema. If you just want to casually see it, definitely go Redbox. What about you?
Cinema or don't bother. All in or don't even waste your money.
Very, very strong. All right. See you next time.
DBL Nation, I'm Lindsay Granger. I'm a trained journalist. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I learned to extensively research. I've written a documentary. I describe myself as the host that will bring a fresh perspective to the panel. I think Tori and I might disagree.
Not a nice thing for the president to say.
Everyone's blowing out of proportion, but that's okay, because today we need that. DBL is a creative, fun, and fast-paced type of show. Who wouldn't want to be at DBL? I'm looking forward to joining the panel and getting into some fun, interesting, and intense conversations. But it's important today. We need to agree to disagree and have the dialogue. A lot of people watch TV and say, how am I represented? DBL is the answer to that question. I'm Lindsay Granger, and I hope to be your voice. Hey, thank you. Cool? That was so good!
I want to vote for her.
Are you running for 2020 election?
I am, yes, thank you. I'm going to spend my last couple months here.
Vote for her. I mean, that was impressive.
I don't know. This is like the awkward part where I gotta say, oh, thank you.
Yeah, now I have to just smile a lot.
No, it's really cool joining you guys. It's an awesome team, and like I said, we're gonna disagree about it a lot, but I'm excited about having the conversation like we did all day today.
Yeah, and I have to say that I've spent a lot of time with you since you've been here, sharing desk space, and we even went on a walk this morning. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here.
He's being nice. You guys,
okay, I said it. Do I get to keep my job now?
This whole time.
All right, we'll see you same time, same place, and Brandon will still be here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.